In a small, forgotten town where the nights were longer than the days, there stood an old abandoned house at the end of a broken road. No one had lived there for decades. No one, except the memories. Every night, at exactly 9:00 p.m., an old man named Robert walked slowly toward that house. His steps were heavy, not because of age, but because of regret. 30 years ago, Robert was a young man in love. Her name was Sarah. She was the light in his dark life. They met when they were both 19. Sarah had a laugh that filled the room. Robert had dreams of building a family with her. They were inseparable. Every evening they would sit in their car by the lake, watching the sunset. Sarah would rest her head on Robert's shoulder, and Robert would whisper, "I will love you forever." And she believed him. But life had other plans. One rainy night, they were driving home from a small celebration. The roads were wet, the visibility was low, they were laughing. Sarah was talking about their future, about children, about growing old together. Then, a truck appeared out of nowhere. Robert tried to turn the wheel, but it was too late. The sound of metal crashing, glass breaking, silence. When Robert opened his eyes, he was in a hospital bed. His body was broken, but his heart was shattered. Sarah didn't survive. The doctors said it was instant, no pain. But Robert felt enough pain for both of them. From that night on, Robert was never the same. He blamed himself. Every day, every night. If I had driven slower, if I had chosen another road, if I had stayed home. But the past could not be changed. Sarah was gone, and with her went Robert's happiness. The abandoned house at the end of the road. It was supposed to be their home. They bought it together. They planned to fix it, to fill it with laughter, with children's voices, with life. But after the accident, Robert never had the courage to live there. It remained empty, just like his heart. Years passed. Friends moved on. Family tried to help, but Robert refused. He chose loneliness. He worked. He ate. He slept. But he never lived. The only thing he kept was a framed photo of Sarah. Every night, he would light a candle, look at her smile, and whisper, "I'm sorry." 30 years later, Robert was now an old man, his hair gray, his hands trembling, but his love was still young, still strong, still broken. That's when something strange started happening. One night, as Robert sat in his small apartment, he heard a soft knock on the door. 3 slow knocks. He opened it. No one was there, only cold air and the faint smell of Sarah's favorite perfume, the same one she wore the night she died. Robert froze. His heart raced. "It's just my imagination," he whispered. But deep inside, he knew something wasn't right. The next night, the knocking happened again, this time louder. When Robert opened the door, still no one, but now he saw wet footprints on the floor, leading away, as if someone had walked in the rain. Just like that night, then came the dreams. Every night, Sarah stood at the doorway of the abandoned house, looking at him, not smiling, not crying, just waiting, always waiting. Finally, one night, Robert couldn't take it anymore. He grabbed his coat and walked toward the old house. The moon was full. The wind whispered through the trees. The house looked darker than ever. As he reached the door, it slowly opened by itself. Inside, everything was covered in dust, but there was one candle burning on the table, fresh, warm, impossible. Robert's hands shook. "Sarah?" he whispered. No answer. Then he heard footsteps upstairs, slow, soft, just like hers. He followed the sound. Each step felt heavier. His heart pounded at the top of the stairs. He saw her, Sarah, standing at the end of the hallway, just as beautiful as the day she died, but pale, almost transparent. "Sarah," Robert cried. Tears fell from his eyes. I missed you every day. She slowly walked toward him, but her face was not peaceful. It was sad, full of pain. Why didn't you come? She asked softly. Her voice echoed. I waited for you. Robert fell to his knees. I was afraid, he said. I couldn't live without you. Tears streamed down his face. I thought if I stayed away, the pain would disappear. Sarah shook her head. The pain never disappears, she whispered. It only grows. I waited in this house every night, waiting for you to live again. Robert reached out his hand, but his fingers passed through her. She was real, and not real at the same time. You don't belong with the dead, Sarah said. You belong with the living. Your life didn't end with mine, but you chose to stop living. The candle suddenly blew out. Darkness filled the room. A cold wind rushed past Robert. When the light returned, Sarah was gone. Only silence remained. Robert cried harder than ever before, but something inside him changed. For the first time in 30 years, he understood. Sarah didn't want him to suffer. She wanted him to live. The next morning, Robert returned to the house. He opened all the windows, let the sunlight in. He cleaned the dust. He fixed broken furniture. Day by day, slowly, the house came back to life. Just like his heart, Robert started talking to neighbors, smiling again, helping others, living again, not forgetting Sarah, but honoring her. Months later, one evening, as Robert sat on the porch of the restored house, he felt a warm breeze, and for a brief moment, he heard Sarah's laugh, soft, happy. Peaceful, he smiled and whispered, "Thank you, because love doesn't mean holding on forever. Sometimes, love means letting go."